Anyway, guys, that's it, everyone. We've finished our holiday and our stay here at the Sheraton Vistana Resort, and it's now officially the end. What a lovely time we've had here in Florida, in the heart of Orlando. And yes, we will be coming back again. Don't worry, we will be back. So what we now got to do is take our suitcases over to Orlando International Airport, because obviously we can't do the Disney Springs check-in because that no longer exists. So we've got to go on to level 3 of the main terminal building in Terminal A, get the baggage done, go around the airport on landside before going through security and go onto the gate link that will take us over to Airside 4, where we'll meet our Virgin Atlantic flight back to Manchester Airport. And yeah, it's been fabulous here on this lovely holiday. And as you know, I've got my Adidas t-shirt and tracksuit shorts, but obviously it will be a tracksuit top over this when we get back to the UK, because obviously the weather's starting to cool down in the UK now, because summer's over in the UK and our summer is now finishing. So that's it. We've been to the Super Bowl for the last time, and we will be back here again. Don't know when yet, but obviously I'll keep you up to date when that will happen. But we've had a fabulous time here in Florida, and anyway, I will see you in the car when we head to the Welcome Centre. Anyway, that is it, guys. We have just checked out. We just left our room 271 here at the Sheraton Vistana Resort here in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, in block 18 of the Falls section. And it's been a blast 2 weeks here in Florida, but sadly, as you probably know, no one wants to leave Florida. They want to stay here a little bit longer, but obviously it's now time to go back to reality. And yeah, so it's been fabulous. And yes, we are going to come here again, but we don't know when it will be. But however, when that day comes again, I will throw the teasers, and I'll give out all the different clues once again to where we'll be going once again when we come here next. And over there's the Falls pool, the kids pool with the water slide, and wow, what an amazing time it's been here in Florida. Now it's time to head back to the misery of the UK. The miserable weather is waiting upon us, so good luck. Okay then, here we go, just about to push back from the block 18, Falls block 18, and we are now going to exit via the reception area. So down there is Falls buildings 23 to 28, and yes, we've had a fantastic time here in Orlando. And there's the Falls splash pad and the Falls pool. Goodbye Falls pool, goodbye Falls splash pad, goodbye recreation centre, and goodbye super pool. And also goodbye to Zimmies, goodbye to resort, goodbye to everything here at the Sheraton Vistana Resort. Okay, here we go. We're just going by the marketplace. Goodbye marketplace. And now we got to exit left via the reception area now, because it's time to say goodbye to this lovely place. And here's the Cascades pool. Goodbye Cascades pool, see you again real soon. And goodbye to the Cascades bar and grill and the building as well that we've seen while we've been here in Florida. Goodbye to my lovely elevators. I will be filming them again real soon when we come back, whenever that will be, I don't know. So here we are, coming to the gatehouse for the very last time here here at the Sheraton Vistana Resort. So I'm going to say goodbye. Exit salida. I think that's something in Spanish. And here is the gatehouse where we'll be saying the one final goodbye to the Sheraton Vistana. There's the lake, and here we go through the barrier. Right, here we go. We're now heading for the Welcome Centre. So we're now coming to the Welcome Centre, which is where we will hand the key in to all the staff in the Welcome Centre, and then that will be passed on to the next arriving customers, whoever will be occupying the room here in Orlando. So as you can see, everyone's checking in and checking out. Oh, it feels very emotional really, leaving this lovely place, but obviously we are coming back once again, and whenever that will be, I'll be saying welcome back to the place that we know and love. Here we are at the Welcome Centre. Anyway, here we are coming into the Welcome Centre for the last time of the Florida trip before we proceed on to Orlando International Airport. So we're just now coming to the reception where we will hand in our key. Right then, that's it everyone. We've just checked out from the Sheraton Vistana Resort. Goodbye to everyone here, and we're just going to head back in the motor to then proceed on to Orlando International Airport. And goodbye to the amazing fountains. Goodbye. Goodbye. Very friendly staff here at the Sheraton, and we will be back here again. And so let's hit the road now for Orlando International Airport. Anyway, here we go. Car's started up. The car has just now started up. So engine's revving, and here we are just leaving the Sheraton Vistana Resort back to Orlando International Airport, where we'll drop off the car, and that will be back at the Hertz section, because obviously we were using Hertz. So goodbye to the Crazy Golf. Goodbye to Sheraton Vistana Resort. To McDonald's as well over here, formerly known as the Hurricanes restaurant and the Santa Fe, if you remember back in the day. And wow, a McDonald's so close to the resort. It's amazing, it used to be further down before. So anyway, there's the Blue Heron and the Crazy Golf. So we're going to just come here to the Apopka Violent. So we're now heading, so we're just waiting for further traffic before we can then proceed, turn to the right to then head on to the airport. Our flight is at 10 o'clock this evening, departure from Orlando International Airport to Manchester Airport. So we'll be going to Manchester Airport. Anyway, there's a school bus, the Orange District Schools. So we won't be seeing them when we get to the UK. It'll be normal type buses like Optare Solos, ADL Enviro 200s, MMC, Scanias, B7s. So we'll be seeing those so we'll be seeing our normal UK buses, and then the return to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures bus blogs is coming our way. Yes, we'll be going on the 242 service from Stourbridge to Kimville once we're back, and which is operated by Diamond. So here we are. So we are gonna have a quick. So we are miles too early. So we're gonna have a lovely last minute ride around before we head on to the international airport. So there's the Sheraton Vistana Resort. So goodbye to Sheraton, see you again soon, and so there he goes. Goodbye, Sheraton. So we're now leaving the Sheraton Vistana behind as we head back to the airport. And so we'll be arriving in the area, so all we gotta then do is follow the signs to the ticketing area for check-in for Virgin Atlantic. And obviously we will have a bit of a walk around the landside part of Orlando International Airport, going into the west wing of the terminal, where there's a couple of shops to look at, and then we'll proceed through to security. Might have a look at the Hyatt Regency maybe, all depends on time, and also see the iconic fountain in the airport, and also we'll see the whatever we can find in the Florida hotel. And then once we've gone through security, we'll then jump onto the gate link that will take us back to the gate area, gate 70 through to 99. Our flight is departing on gate 86, but I will keep you up to date if there's any changes with the flight. But as estimated, it will be departing on gate 86. So our flight takes off at Orlando International Airport at 10 o'clock tonight. So it will be a late flight. So we will be sleeping a lot. So I won't be doing much reviews on the inbound because obviously the inbound flight will be fast asleep all the way to the UK. And we land into the UK at 10 past 11 in the morning, midday, because normally when we used to fly on VS76 we landed at 7:45 in the morning. So there's been a bit of a change this time around, so we're flying on the VS74, which is the later one from Orlando, and so that will be it. So we're going to keep, so the later flight will be, hopefully it'll be a brilliant flight, and we will be on an Airbus A350-1000 series aircraft, which is the newest plane that we got on the fleet, well, what Virgin have got on the fleet. But obviously the newest planes they recently got are the A330-900 Neos, but we'll be given the A350 aircraft. So but it was brilliant going on the A330 on the outbound. So the A330 was brilliant on the outbound, but we're going on the A350 for the return flight to Manchester. So once we're due into Manchester, depending on what gate we'll come to, if it's the B gates, the only thing that might be the problem is walking across the tarmac and going on the transfer bus in the bussing lounge, the remote bussing gates. But if we're on the, which is like the remote stands, but if we're on the normal stands, that would either be the A gates or the 200 series. But beware on the 200 gates, it might take a little bit longer, because obviously they're doing the terminal up, because obviously they're doing the terminal up at Manchester. But if we're on the A gates, there are moving walkways if you need to hurry to border control. So anyway, here we are. I will see you in a couple of moments. Anyway, so over there we've got a handful of local little stores. Hopefully we'll explore that. There's a Subway down there, and so there's the Hilton. The Rosen is just behind those trees, so we are going to go. So we just need to go straight on in a moment. Now, so we're going to go straight on in a moment. lights gone to green. So we'll be missing those type of traffic lights even with the red arrows on, because obviously it'll be different when we're in the UK because they'll be on poles. But however, there are some places that do have them on those supports. So there's the OCC just right in front, and just behind that's the Orlando wheel at Icon Park. So we're now just on our way. There's the Hilton and there's the Rosen. That's because we're on International Drive. We're on the south of International Drive by SeaWorld. So it's goodbye now to SeaWorld, and we're going on to International Drive. So you've got north-south parking for the OCC, the Orange County Convention Centre. So we're just taking a nice steady drive until we get to Orlando International Airport. So this is going to be filmed up until we get to the world's largest McDonald's, and then, because obviously we filmed most of our trips around here when we went to these various places, and we're going to stop at a Target just by the Florida Mall, because obviously we haven't been in a Target yet. So there's the Orange County Convention Centre. Oh, there's an event going on, FabTech. There's the escalators. Got escalators in the convention centre. People waiting to catch their iRide trolley. And here's the link bridge, like the Skylink walkway at Manchester. We'll be seeing a Skylink at Manchester, but it'll be enclosed compared to these ones here in Orlando, where you got ventilation going through the facilities, through the bridges. So we are gonna. So here we go. We're on our way. Here we go then. Hyatt Regency. There's one in Orlando International Airport, and so we are going to see coming up in a moment the upside down building. That's right, the Wonderworks. So we're coming to the. So there's another sign here for the OCC. So here's the Point Orlando. So we're just we're just close to Point Orlando now. That's actually a public parking garage. We used to go to Point Orlando loads of times before, but it was way before this YouTube channel was set up. But hopefully maybe we could try and get into Point Orlando in the near future, but we'll have to see what happens. But we've done all the malls that we wanted to do. We've done the Florida Mall, we've done the Mall at Millenia, we've done the 2 premium outlets, and we've done the factory stores down at Lake Buena Vista. And hopefully we might get to the Altamonte Mall eventually in Altamonte Springs. And so here we are, just waiting here with traffic. Anyway, here's Point Orlando, the Point as it's called. You got the Capsule Grill. That looks really nice and posh in there. And there's the entrance to the Point. It's a nice little shopping area. Got Regal Cinema. Haha, JoJo's right there. Shake bar, sorry. And here's the upside down building, the Wonderworks, and of course the entrance to the car park, the parking garage. Here's Wonderworks, the upside down house, the iFly indoor skydiving. There used to be that dome structure near the old Wet n Wild, which is now the Endless Summer Resorts for Universal, dockside and surfside. So Walgreens chemist down here. There was a hotel nearby here called the and there's the Miller's Ale House. There used to be like a golf place here, like a volcano, but obviously they've actually took it down, and there's a cuisine. And Bahama Breeze. Here's Bahama Breeze. Looks very nice, that place does. Went there one of the nights here in Orlando. Howl at the Moon. And just coming up now is the Icon Park. There's the Wheel of Orlando. And here's the Castle Hotel where we stayed in 2004. Maze. And here's Castle Hotel, where they have the Fujitech. Very nice hotel that is. And there's the Pirate Golf. That used to be where Mikado used to be years ago. And here's the Starflyer. And there's the Slingshot. They used to be down at Magical Midway. And oh, there's a sign there, via Mikado. That must be the site where it used to be years ago, and they must have kept the sign up. But obviously I remembered it being an outlet shopping centre. So at least they kept something here, and over there was, I think that was the old Radisson Bar Chel Hello, unless it was the restaurants on the next side. So here's the Wheel. The Wheel of Orlando. Multi-storey car park, parking garage. Shake Shack. And here's the Starflyer. Charlie's Steakhouse. And finally, here we are just approaching the centre of International Drive, where we got the world's largest McDonald's. So I will see you once we get to the Florida Mall. And here's Ripley's, believe it or not, the Crooked Building. And there's also the Mirror Maze. So here we are, just approaching. There's a bit of a multi-storey car park here. I don't know what that's used for. It's really interesting. And there's a Golden Corral just behind it, and there's a Disney World store. Hopefully one day we'll look in. One day when we come here next, we'll look in that one. And there's Walgreens, and that's it. Okay then, here we are. We are just outside Target, just by the Florida Mall. And it's now time to set off for Orlando International Airport, where we will be catching our flight back to Manchester Airport. And so here we are, just leaving Target. And well, what a fantastic store it looks. A bit like being in, anyway, there's a minibus, some sort of minibus there. So anyway, here's the little bit of Florida Mall. Well, it's like a little mall in by the Florida Mall, like the little factory store units. Obviously now we're leaving the lovely Sunshine State behind, and so we will not be able to see any sunshine, warmer weather until March in the UK, from when the clocks go forward. Even though the clocks don't go back until the end of October, but we won't see the weather when we're in shorts again, possibly until like March, April, May, June time. So here we go. We are just leaving the so just now leaving the Target store. So just got to do a right now to head past 7-Eleven. And then drive on to Orlando International Airport. So here we are. Discovery Church over there and 7-Eleven, which is the... We stopped there when we went to the Florida... While we've been at the Florida Mall. Just to get some refreshments. So here we go. And here is the... one of my first ever Aldis I experienced here in Orlando. Well, not to go in, but obviously to see on the way to the Florida Mall. That is really weird. Well, on the way to the airport. So here's the Aldi here in Orlando. We'll be seeing them back in the UK. So there's Aldi. And so here we go. Here's the sign. So Wingard Road, or Winegard. So we're now left. There's racetrack there. So we gotta go. So now we gotta drive in a straight line. Staples, Lorry, Dunkin' Donuts, and so we're all on our way. So we're on our way to Orlando International Airport. Obviously, no one wants to be there really, because obviously they still want to be on their holidays, because no one wants to think about going home. But obviously, as you know, it's time to go back to reality. And so we're going to go back to the airport over in Orlando and get on the Virgin plane back to Manchester. Hopefully, if the safety demonstration is working properly this time, because obviously on the outbound, it actually had to go to a manual demonstration. But I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be working properly this time for the inbound flights. So there we go. So as we come up the slope here, I'm going to show you something. There's a bit of an industrial estate over here. So we're going upwards. This is the. It's going to be a while since since we'll hear this again. This type of noise. $1.1 million, and there's a train line down there. And anyway, there's the air traffic control tower over at Orlando International Airport. So we're gonna now take the proper exit. And anyway, there is a Harbour telegraph pole right here. Is a Harbour telegraph pole, and there's Wawa. So we've got to keep going straightwards until we get to the airport, towards the airfield. AutoZone, Wendy's. We won't, and there's a 7-Eleven here. Quite a lot of 7-Elevens around here in Florida. But we're going to miss 7-Eleven when we left. And there's Taco Bell. There's one in Cheltenham. Taco Bell's. Popeye's Chicken and Biscuits. Bar One. RB. And there's the days in, so here we go, we're on our way. So Sleep Inn and Suites, the American version of the Premier Inn. As I say about the Premier Inn, everything's Premier but the price. And we were staying at the Premier Inn at the Trafford Centre West 2 weeks yesterday. But today we are leaving. And there is another half a telegraph pole. So there's a half a telegraph pole here en route towards the airport. You'll be seeing the airport in a moment with all the planes taking off and landing. Orlando International Airport is a big airport. It's the main airport here in the heart of Orlando. And the airlines, other than Virgin, you have British Airways, Emirates, JOL, United, Delta, Lufthansa, Aer Lingus as well. And of course you've got Emirates and Southwest Airlines. And then the other airport is Sanford, which is in the Seminole County, and that used to be where TUI used to fly in and out of, but obviously TUI now flying to Melbourne on the Space Coast of Florida. So Sanford's only served by Allegiant flights, McCoy Federal. So we're now leaving. There's the Comfort Suites there, like Comfort Inn, and here's important information regarding to get to the airport, the aeroplane sign. So you'll be seeing the airport in a moment. So we're going to be heading for the airport. So we're going to get in the left lane. So we're going to also be mindful that we've got to follow the signs to like car rental return. Obviously 2 weeks ago we were actually on that part of the road heading to our resort, Sheraton Vistana Resort, and I can guarantee that we'll be back up there again when we're travelling to the resort once again. So it will be happening again, and so we're just waiting here at traffic, because obviously a lot of people, majority of people, might be heading for the airport, probably to pick people up or probably dropping people off, or might be going to different parts of the area, because obviously this road isn't only for the airport, it's for everyone who needs to access. So we're going to go on the beach line now. So we're going to go on this beach line expressway. It's going to take us all the way to so we're going all the way to the airport. So going to do a left to the international airport. So you'll see the airfield in a moment. There's the E-Pass. So we're going to go. Obviously got the E-Pass gate. Oh, Delta's on landing into Orlando. Delta.
This one here, Joe.
Yep. Yeah, Delta aircraft just landing into the international airport. Delta's a very obviously Delta have a good handful of flights. They used to fly into Manchester, but obviously they're stopped since after 2020, and obviously they just now focus on the busy London airports. So they're just now focused on the capital city airports now, rather than flying into regional airports. It's like United Airlines used to fly into Birmingham, but obviously they're no longer flying to Birmingham. They're just flying to like all the main capital cities rather than regional. Because 2020 really killed a lot of things off due to obvious reasons. And even American Airlines used to fly into Birmingham, even British Airways. There was a lot of airlines that used to fly in and out of Birmingham. So we're just going towards the airport. So we're going to keep... Oh, and Southwest on landing. Boeing 737. Very nice. Obviously, one of my best favourite Southwest planes I like was in the SeaWorld livery. We've got a McDonald's over there, which I'll show you when we come out the airport next time we come to Orlando. So here's the signs there for the payments on the toll road. Toll road, and obviously we've been across here when we used to fly into Sanford, when we flew with Thomas Cook in Travel City, Air Atlanta. Airport's over there, plane going off, so it's 1 mile now to the international airport. Spirit airline is just on the ground here. Spirit. Obviously this is a very big airport, and here's the airfield just right over there. I'm just going to give you a good picture of the airfield. So here's the airfield, very nice. There's Terminal C over there, that's the newest terminal here at Orlando. And Terminal A, which is where we're flying from with Virgin, you have to fly, it's on the other side. And you've got Frontier Airlines right there, so you've got Frontier. So now 1.5 mile into the airport. So there's so you've got the flagship air traffic control tower. Just you wait when we're taking off. That will be very nice and lit up at night. So obviously with the seat arrangements on the flight tonight, we don't know if we're going to have the window seat yet, but I will keep you up to date. But obviously on the A350 aircraft, you'll have like the cameras on the touch screen, so you can view that out with the plane itself, like what the captains see, what the passengers don't get to see. Bit like on the point of view, driver's eye view DVDs, if you remember. I used to collect Video 125. Well, I'll still get a handful time to time. So we're keeping right now to the international airport. Here we are. It's getting towards 70. The time's now 17:40. We've got to check in at 1800 hours for our flight back to Manchester. And we're flying Virgin. Just behind there is a fighter jet. And so here are the information on the terminals A, B, and C. So Virgin Atlantic is on the A side, so that includes with Spirit, Frontier, Avelo, and Southwest, and Air Transat. So this is a very busy place. This is Orlando. Thomas Cook did fly here into international. Previously they flew into Sanford, but then they flew here up until 2019, from when the company ended for the final time. On the B side, you've got Air Canada, Alaska, American, Bahamas Air, Bermuda, Delta, Breeze, and Jet Lines. And so here we go, just going round to the airport. So we're in the A, and in Terminal C, you've got Aer Lingus, Aeromexico, BA, Lufthansa, JetBlue, Norse, Porter, and Iceland Air. Because Iceland Air even flew into Sanford, but now they fly here to the international airport. And there's one of the terminals with the mini ground control tower. That's where Frontier's departing from. So obviously there's the flagship control tower. Love these control towers with the radar spinning. So here we are, rental car return now. That's one of the air side views. Everyone's probably going to be getting ready to leave Orlando. So rental car return, orange. So we're in the orange section of the airport. Well, so obviously here are the car rental informations. Alamo, Dollar, Enterprise, National, 50, Avis, Budget, Hertz, Payless, and 60. So here we are, just now coming to the car rental return garage. So rental return for Hertz, which is straight ahead, so just around here. So I've got to go up the ramp. That's the drop off and pick up point. for those passengers who've arrived. So that is the level where Hertz is, where we had to cross the street. Like 2 weeks ago, we were on the ground transportation area. Fingers crossed we'll be back there again, so we've got to turn this way for Hertz. And this is also, so we're on level R2. Wow. 2 weeks later, we're back at Orlando International. So all we gotta now do is then head into the check-in facility. So here's the Hertz sign. Is the Hertz customer returns. So we gotta do a left. All these Hertz cars are all reserved perfect for Virgin Atlantic holidays. Wow, this is amazing. So all we gotta do now is just drop off the car, and then the Hertz staff will park the car back in the bay ready for the next guests to take this car to wherever they'll be taking it to. So that's it, guys. End of our car journey here in America. We'll be back in the British one when we do the overnight flight back into Manchester. So please drive forward over Tiger Teeth, do not stop. So there's the signs there for the elevators and terminals A and B. So we're just gonna get into a row and then we'll stop. Oh, and there's a car parking marshal. So what I'll do, I'll stop filming and I'll see you once we enter the main terminal.
I've been in this airport for an hour now.
No, where are you trying to get to?
Crescent City, Florida.
Okay.
Home.
Home.
Car rental 1.
Okay then, here we are on level 1 of the Orlando International Airport in the ground transportation hall where you pick up your cars. Obviously we're going to just drop some off here before we go up to level 3, which is the main check-in facility here at Orlando International Airport. So, and then we'll be leaving, unfortunately, because we got to check in like just after 5 minutes. So just waiting. So what we'll do, we're going to drop off the Hertz pass, and then we'll go to check-in. Okay then, here we are. We've just checked in here at Orlando International Airport in the ticketing area, and the check-in process was normal, and of course I've got the window seat, which is brilliant. So we're in economy delight for the return. So we're just going past the Frontier check-in, and obviously got to watch it here because it's a little bit strict down here. So I'll see you once we get into one of the atriums. Okay then, here we are in the Universal store here at the Orlando International Airport. So we've got all these Universal themed characters from Despicable Me, Cat in the Hat, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, and of course we've got Trolls, Justin Timberlake. Oh my goodness me, let me quickly get a picture of him. Oh my goodness me, Justin Timberlake, famous singer as well, who sings all those lovely songs. And of course you've got the lovely mugs, and then the Harry Potter's here, and here they are, very nice here in, and obviously so our flight will be departing on gate 96. We've got E.T. Let me check how much it is. Oh my god, $24.95. And of course we've got the lanyards here as well, and then of course we've got the t-shirts, key rings, and wow, amazing. Right, here's the magic of Disney, and here we are in the main concourse here at Orlando International Airport. See the atrium flooding daylight onto the concourse, bit like being at London Euston. And you got so here's the fountain here in the airport. So we've got the fountain just right there. Amazing fountain here at Orlando International. Go down one. Alright, these are the elevators at the Hyatt Regency Hotel at Orlando International Airport. And these are Schindler elevators, capacity 3,500 lbs. Here we got one. Go back up to 3.
Floor 1.
We got floor 1. Let's go to 3. 3. These are glass elevators. I think these are Schindlers, I don't know. Nice elevator, and look through the roof. We got floor 3.
Floor 3.
And that's it. Okay then, here we go. We're now coming to the security hall, which is right there. Now obviously I'm not allowed to do any videos or photographs within the area, so I'll see you once I get on the gate link.
Clear of the doors and hold on to the handrails. The gate link will be departing momentarily for gate 70 through 99. Orlando and Central Florida are so much alike. There's a good chance you didn't see it at all. So please come back and visit us again very soon. It's Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. We hope you enjoyed your Orlando experience.
Okay, we're now on the gate link from the main terminal to gate 70 through to 99. Here we go. Please hold on. Air rail is about to depart for the departure lounge. Here we go. There's a plane there going towards London Heathrow, Virgin. There's the other one. So I've been on the DLR in London, Delta. The A350, Virgin plane going towards London Heathrow.
Stand clear of the doors and hold on to the handrails. When the gate link stops, please exit for gate 70 through 99.
And here we are, arriving at airside 4. And when the gate link stops, please exit for gate 70 through to 99. And this is where all the arriving passengers will start to begin their vacation. Here we are, gate 70 through to 99. Okay then, we just arrived at airside 4. Gate 70 through to 99 here at Orlando International Airport. The security process was perfect. There was no issues at security, so that was very good. So I'm going to take you on a walk around the departure lounge and see what it has to offer in this area. Okay then, here we are on airside 4. We're going to take you through all the different gates, and this is for gates 90 through to 99. So this is 90 to 99, and obviously we've used this gate area before when we flew into Orlando last time. And obviously, so this is gate 90. So gate 91 Obviously, there's no plane parked up yet. Obviously, down here is for Virgin going to London Heathrow. Virgin did fly to London Gatwick, but they just now fly to London Heathrow. So we've got a Cyber Express here. Now we've just got to be a little bit careful around here because it is a bit strict. Of course, here you've got Southwest at gate 92. That's going to Austin. So we've got Austin. And here are these are the passport gates here. These are the passport gates. Obviously, watch it, these passport gates are temperamental, so just beware. And obviously they're now starting to board Virgin Atlantic flight to London Heathrow. Right, here's Soul Rebel on a Virgin Atlantic flight going towards London Southwest, and just beyond that class is for the oh, there's a Delta just departing. Very nice. Quite a few other airlines, Spirit, from the other terminal. And this bit here is where exiting passengers are, so they're preparing for VS. To London Heathrow. So 136 to London is just getting prepared, ready for boarding. Anyway, there's the gate link which we just come off. Going into the terminal building there. Main terminal. That is where all the international traffic.
If you have any oversized items in your buggies, strollers, personal weapons, or walker, please alert indicated here at gate 96. Once again, if you have any buggies, strollers, personal weapons, or walker, please alert indicated here at gate 96.
Anyway, here's the air traffic control tower. Go to Orlando International Airport. There's the terminal, and that's the Virgin A350 preparing for the flight to London Heathrow, Terminal 3. And then passengers who were travelling into central London, that means they'll then get onto the Piccadilly line and the Elizabeth line. So Virgin A350 getting the flight ready for London Heathrow. There's the terminal, but obviously we're the Manchester passengers. Very nice here at Orlando International. Okay then, these are the elevators to the Club MCO at Orlando International Airport. This is the Schindler elevator. Capacity £4,000 and the torch is on. Here we are, 3, the Club.
Floor 3. Floor 3. Floor 3. Floor 3. Floor 3.
Go down. Let's see.
Floor 2.
Okay then, we've just done gates 90 through to 99. Now we're going to gates 70 through to 79. And just next to the Delta Sky Club. So this is the Delta Sky Club entrance. So here we go. Down to the Delta bit here. This is where obviously the internal passengers come and go from. Just have to be a bit discreet down here. So this is where Delta passengers come and go from. There's a Delta plane there. And another view you out onto the terminal. Wow, it's amazing. So a Delta flight is boarding for New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. Yes. So just have to drop the camera. So I've got a Delta Airbus A319 or A320. Obviously Delta used to fly into the UK, into Manchester, but they don't fly into Manchester anymore. Just fly into, they're flying to the busy London airports. Obviously this is like internal passengers who, and here's the display sign. So this is what you do in each wing. Really nice in here. Obviously this is all Delta passengers. There's a Delta, another Delta flying there. Terminal. Obviously, control tower starting to light up because it's. Delta 74. That's the southwest gate over there. Beyond there is the JetBlue maintenance hangar. American Airlines taking off. Okay, let's go to 3. Anyway, these are the elevators to the Delta Sky Club at Orlando International Airport. And these are also Schindler's, capacity 4,000 lbs. The elevators. You got Delta Sky Club.
Floor 2.
Go back down to 2. Bit bouncy. Close the doors. This is where Delta has a Sky Club. Going back down to all gates. Going down. Woo! Nice elevator this is. The Orlando Airport carpet. Departures, level 2. And that's it. Sky team just landing. Sky team just pushing back. Delta. American Airlines just landed on the other side. Time is now 19:10. Okay, here we are on the main centre point of Airside 4. So this is, it's got an Outback Steakhouse, Burger King, Duty Free, Bahama Breeze, and Nathan's Hot Dogs as well. So we've got quite a few. This was also where British Airways used to come and go from, but obviously they've now moved over to Terminal C. So there's Burger King right there. So let's go in the duty free shop and see what there is. Obviously there wasn't any gifts in the duty-free shop compared to being over at Manchester. So we're now going over to gates 80 to 89, which is where the Virgin Atlantic flights come and go from. And this is one of them. We're at gate 86. And obviously this one's occupied by Southwest on 81. Normally that's done by an international flight. Gate 80 was occupied at one time by British Airways. And Lufthansa's on the other side. So this is gate 80. This used to be where the aim used to depart from. This was where the Virgin Gatwick one was the last time we came. Right then, just coming down towards gate 9, going down towards gate 86, which is where our Manchester-bound flight will depart from. Obviously, I walked here. This was where we were 6 years ago, departing back to Manchester. Gosh, it's very quiet in here. Nice and peaceful. Bit weird. Wonder if there's any information.
For security reasons, passengers must closely control baggage or packages and avoid direct.
Have a blink. So here we are.
Yeah, have you written?
So this is for VS 74 to Manchester. Right here. And here it is. That's our plane. What we're travelling on tonight. Obviously the passport gates are not open yet. But if I can just quickly take you. That's our plane tonight. The Airbus A350. Looking forward to being on the plane here tonight. And over to Manchester. There's a bit of a tractor. Swissport. Here we are. Okay then, here we are in the gate 86 area here at Orlando International Airport, waiting for the Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350 aircraft, taking us all the way back to Manchester Airport. And obviously it's been a fantastic time here in Florida. I'm looking forward to hopefully do it all over again. And yes, so we're done gate 87, now we're doing gate 86 back to the UK. So maybe, without a doubt, we might end up on the other gates here next time. Because obviously we landed on gate 83.
National Boarding Call, National Boarding Call for all service passengers on flight to Level 7, we're also serving Tampa. Please report to gate 94 to board your flight.
Anyway, we're just waiting for the announcements to call out for Virgin Atlantic flight VS74 service to Manchester Airport. And people are getting the passport barriers ready, so they're all ready for, so them setting up now, so all good to go. Here we go. Okay then, here we are. Just been to the washrooms just before we take off. So you can see the Southwest passengers are just boarding to go to Pittsburgh. here we are. Now going along to gate 86. Anyway, here's the shop. Obviously, with the duty free. Time's now 20:28. We've got some cookies in here. A bit of a grab and go snack. And it's a good view. A lovely view. Out onto the airfield. Very nice airfield here. This airfield here in Orlando. And Hershey's and Kit Kats. Very different to the UK version of the Kit Kats. So now we're going to go down to gate 86. So this is 82. This used to be where some of the British Airways flights used to come and go from. Used to be where the old British Airways gates used to be. Obviously British Airways now go from Terminal C. Hello. And obviously this was also where Lufthansa used to fly from, but Lufthansa is now over Terminal C. Very nice Orlando Airport carpets.
For passengers on Virgin Atlantic Flight 74 to Manchester, if you have any oversized items such as big buggies, strollers, walkers, or personal wheelchairs, we would kindly ask that you please bring them over to the podium 86 so that we can tag them prior to departure. Please bring over an adult boarding card. Thank you.
Andrew Ware, please come to gate 86 for passport verification. Thank you.
Virgin Atlantic Flight VS74 is paging the following customer, Edward Kennan. Edward Kennan, please come to podium 986 for a brief message.
I'll close in 7 minutes. Work this way. Hopefully it didn't sound flat.
Virgin Atlantic Flight 74 with services to Manchester is paging Edward Kennan and Andrew Weir. Once again, that's Edward Kennan and Andrew Weir. Please come to gate 86 for passport verification. And if you have come up with a flight from Delta and you're traveling with Virgin Atlantic today, please see us over at podium 86 for verification of documents. With services to Manchester is not dining our guests group 1 and our Flying Club Gold to board at this time next to the purple sign. Once again, group 1 and our Flying Club Gold are now welcome to board at this time next to the purple sign for VS74. As you come into the biometric boarding area, please remove any hats, caps, glasses, face masks, neck pillows, and headphones as they move away your boarding. There are 2 lanes for biometric boarding, so choose either lane and make your way down. Thank you.
Okay then, boarding the plane now. Now, as you know, this clip here has been muted because there was a lot of copyright music playing in the background, and I don't own the rights to the music, so I had to mute it out because obviously it will lead myself into a copyright strike. So this is boarding the plane here at gate 86.
Well, good evening. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome from all the crew on board this Virgin Atlantic flight, the VS74 to Manchester. We'd like to welcome on board members of our flying club, our Virgin Atlantic Holidays customers, and those joining us for our Sky Team Alliance and other co-share partners. Whilst you're settling in, please place larger bags into the overhead lockers, and to maximise space, place wheelie bags on their side with the wheels to the back of the locker. If you are sitting at an exit or front row seat, the floor area must be completely clear. But to help us leave on time, please take your seat shown on your boarding card and leave your seatbelt open as the aircraft is currently being refueled, and just to remind you that smoking is not allowed on board at any time. To help you stay connected, our Wi-Fi network will be available after takeoff, and taking photos and videos is allowed on your flight, but you must get consent from other customers and crew before including them. If for any reason a crew member does ask you not to take photos or video footage, you must comply with their instructions. Well, we do expect our flight time this evening to be approximately 7 hours and 36 minutes. Once again, welcome on board.
Up my Senior First Officer Rob Clifford, who's going to do the flying, and looking after you in the cabin we have a wonderful team of crew led by Nairi. We're all paperwork complete up the front, the fueling's done, all the baggage holds are closed, looking good for a slightly ahead of schedule departure time if air traffic control will allow that. Flight time this evening, as you've already heard, is 7 hours and 35 minutes. Routing off the northerly runway here in Orlando, following the eastern seaboard all the way up over New York, Boston, and coasting out to the Atlantic over Newfoundland, and then back in over Liverpool into Manchester. Guys, please make yourselves as comfortable as you can and give any of the safety briefings from the crew just a few moments of your attention. And the last thing from us in the flight deck, we are expecting some smooth flying conditions this evening. However, we do recommend, even if the seatbelts aren't switched off, you keep your seatbelts loosely fastened, and that way the crew won't need to disturb you if you're having a little snooze. We'll leave you in peace now, and Rob will talk to you again before landing for an update on the arrival time and weather conditions. Thank you.
My name is Nairi Hodgson. It's my absolute pleasure to be your flight service manager on your flight this evening back to Manchester. I have a fabulous team working alongside me on your flight tonight. And all we ask for you to do is sit back, relax and enjoy your Virgin Atlantic experience. Right, but the cabin crew, our boarding procedure has now been completed. Thank you.
We hope you had a magical time with us. We now hand you over to our fabulous flight crew. We'd like to thank you for flying Virgin Atlantic, and we do hope to see you again soon.
Played over the loudspeakers, there is no need to use your headset. You may have flown on one of our Airbus A350 aircraft already, but as each aircraft can be slightly different, we would ask you to watch and listen very carefully. If you do have any questions about safety after you've watched our video, then please do speak to any one of us. Cabin crew, please prepare now for a video demonstration.
Oh, is that yours, was it? Yeah, because I sat on it. I sat on it and I've just popped it there.
Yeah, if you ever see my dog.
I've got to get home. I've got to split the spaniel.
Yeah, we're now pushing back.
Hello there. We're delighted to welcome you on board Virgin Atlantic. Thank you for flying with us today. You're no doubt keen to lose yourself in our dazzling world of entertainment, but first we're going to show you a safety film, and we'd like you to give it your full attention. It's really important that you watch and understand it, because together we're all responsible for safety on this flight. It helps explain the safety equipment and procedures on a particular aircraft, and gives you an idea of what to do in an emergency. If you have any questions after watching it, ask questions as we check it. The aisles and exits need to be kept clear. So, if there is anything you haven't put in the overhead lockers, put them under the seat in front of you now.
It's really important that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If it isn't, push the two ends together until they click. Then tighten it by pulling the strap, like this. In upper class, seats are equipped with an additional shoulder harness that clips to the waist belt, like this. You can open your seatbelt like this. Keep your seatbelt on and pull the tag or the mask down to turn on the oxygen. The bag might not inflate, but oxygen will be flowing. Put the mask over your mouth and nose and adjust the straps around your head to make sure it fits. Fit your mask first before helping anyone else with theirs.
If we land on water, take your life jacket from under your seat. Pull the tab to release it. Tear open the bag and take the jacket out. Slip it over your head, pass the long strap around your waist and secure with the clip at the front. Pull on the loose end to tighten it. Only inflate it when you're outside so it doesn't restrict your escape. Pull the red tab hard or blow into the tube to inflate. There is a light to attract attention. Cabin crew will hand out smaller life jackets for children. To help reduce injury in an emergency landing, fasten your seatbelt tight. Put both feet together, firmly on the floor, slightly under your seat. Place one hand over the other on the back of your head. Bend forward, elbows outside your knees. Rest your head on the seat in front if you can. If you have a child on your lap, place one hand on your head, lean over your child and place one hand on their head. Brace position may vary in some cabins. Please check your safety card before departure. Lights will guide you to the exits in an emergency, and there are green signs at the doors. The cabin crew will point out the exits now. Please remember where your nearest exit is. It might be right there, behind you. If you need to open a door, move the big handle in the direction of the arrow. As the door opens, a slide will inflate. If it doesn't, then just pull the red handle. Leave everything behind you and take off anything that could damage the slide. Jump on the slide, and when you get to the end, move away quickly. The slides can also be used as rafts. Okay, we're nearly ready to go. Please now make sure your seatbelt's fastened low and tight, your seat's upright, the armrest is down, and your footrest is tucked away. If your screen isn't in the back of the seat in front of you, return it to its home now. There's a safety card in your seat pocket. Have a good look through to remind you of what you've seen and for information about this particular aircraft. Please always pay attention to the signs and the crew. They're there to keep you safe, so if you have any questions, just ask. Now sit back and enjoy your flight, and thanks for watching.
Guys, here we go. We are now departing from Orlando International Airport back to Manchester Airport on the Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350 named Fearless Lady. And here we go. A350 aircrafts were originally at London Heathrow Airport for the New York flights, but following the retirement of the Boeing 747, the jumbo jet aircrafts in 2020, the A350s now do the Orlando flights alongside the A330, which will soon be replaced by the 900 Neos. So as you can see, Orlando's nice and lit up at night. So we are departing from Orlando International Airport back to Manchester Airport. Here we go then. So the cabin crew are now preparing for takeoff. Terminal C down there, that is for the Aer Lingus flights and the British Airways and the Emirates. So we just started at gate 86 here in Orlando, but we've had a lovely time in Orlando and we are going back. So there's the air traffic control tower lit up at night. So here we go. Goodbye Orlando. wheel down there of Orlando. There's the Orlando wheel. And we're going onto the runway.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the cabin lighting will be dim for our evening takeoff. Should you wish to continue reading, you'll find a light switch in your seat area. And cabin crew, we've now like to take our seats in preparation for our departure.
That one's stuck. So anyway, the front window's stuck, so the cabin's going to get dark. And for here we go. The cabin's going to get darker now. Return flight home to Manchester. Obviously we've got another planet. Anyway, here we go. We are just now entering the runway at Orlando International Airport. 35 out. 35 left. 35 left. So we're just waiting now for final clearance before we can go ahead. Anyway, you can see the flash. Seatbelt signs are now flashing. That means we are ready for takeoff. Anyway, here we go. It's now time to take off. So here we go. And off we go. Departing from Orlando to Manchester. Here we go. Woo. Manchester. You can probably tell we put my tracksuit top on because it was cold throughout most of the flights. So here we are. That's the camera system. Well, very good morning to you all. From Point Sky, as shortly we will be landing into Manchester. And also a shout out to Flight Service Manager Gary Hodson. There's giving me the lovely twins of the biscuits, so thank you very much to her. So just put my seatbelt on, ready for landing into Manchester Airport. So here we go, the wing, the A350 aircraft. Obviously the announcement was just about license on customs and also the food products. On the illegal items that will be brought into the UK and then will be seized.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck is here, first officer speaking. It's been my pleasure to fly you over, so I hope you enjoyed the flight so far and you managed to get some rest and enjoy the boarding table. Just in way, in terms of a quick update, still on a cruising altitude of 39,000 feet, with about just over 45 minutes to run to Manchester. So if you want to say your watch local time, just coming up to 11 minutes past 10. We're expecting to touch down around about 10 minutes to the hour, so with a little bit of fixing should be on time, maybe just a few minutes early into Manchester time. Weather conditions to expect when we arrive, it's light something, it's about 12 degrees, no low cloud is showing at the moment, no good visibility, so it should be a fairly clear, nice day in Manchester when we arrive. As I say, we're starting on set in about 10 minutes time, so this will be the last chance to get speeches. So from the point deck, thanks very much for joining us today. I do hope you enjoyed the flight. Do have a safe journey from the airport. If there's any significant changes, I'll let you know. But otherwise, thanks for choosing Virgin Atlantic. Good to see you again.
We've got 38 minutes now to the landing into Manchester Airport. Okay, the aircraft's now control, just having a board now. Manchester. Manchester City Centre, Great Manchester. That means we'll be seeing the terminal. View at Manchester. London's just commencing. Morrison's. Manchester Airport. Now landing into Manchester International Airport. Touchdown now, after 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and finally, there's the Metrolink tram line, and 0, here we are, welcome to Manchester Airport. There's the control tower, the decommissioned one. There's the little one, the ground. There's the new air traffic control tower. Well, the 2013 built one. So here we are. Welcome to Manchester Airport. And here's the runway park over there. So anyway, welcome to Manchester Airport. Time here, 10:53. So just now taxiing over to Terminal 2.
Welcome to Manchester International Airport, where the local time here is just approaching 11 o'clock in the morning. But please keep your seatbelt fastened until our captain turns off the fasten seatbelt signs. We'll return any item we've stowed for you as soon as we arrive at the terminal. If you were given an infant life jacket at the beginning of the flight, please have this ready for collection by the cabin crew. Before you leave us, do remember to check around your seat and in the seat pocket to make sure you've got everything with you. And when you're opening the overhead lockers, do be careful as items may have moved during our landing. If you've yet to donate any loose change or foreign currency to our charitable causes, there'll be a collection bag available as you leave the aircraft as we say goodbye this morning. Next time you travel, do remember to download the Virgin Atlantic app from the App Store to manage your booking and check-in online. Don't forget to join our Flying Club programme to collect Virgin points today for a range of exciting benefits or reward flights to exclusive discounts and more. We do hope you've enjoyed your time with us on board today, and we do know you have a choice of airlines to fly with to Manchester. On behalf of our flight crew, myself, and indeed the entire onboard team today, we do wish you a very safe, pleasant and onward journey. We do look forward to welcoming you all back on board again soon. Thank you and a very good morning to you.
Naughty corner. There's an aircraft on our stand at the moment. It is due off in the next 5 minutes, and they told us we should get you on stand in about 10 minutes, which should be round about our scheduled arrival time, give or take a minute or two. Please bear with us and we'll get you underway just as soon as we can.
Anyway, here we are, we're now moving to the stand, so welcome back to Manchester Airport. Well, the time here now is 11:04, just coming up to 11:05 in the morning, midday. And now that the aircraft is taxiing to the terminal, we must all remain seated with our seatbelts fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt signs. And of course the cabin crew will come through collecting the life jackets and the infant seatbelts. And also please refrain from smoking until everyone's reached the designated smoking area, which is outside the terminal building here in the northwest. And also mobile phones passengers must remain in flight mode until after arrival, and remember most airports don't allow people to use mobile phones or cameras in the customs and immigration hall. And so the process is we're going to go to passport control, where we'll get our documents, then we need to take the escalator, stairs or the lifts down to the baggage reclaim hall to collect the luggage from the carousel, which is over here in Manchester at Terminal 2. And for those passengers who are getting connecting flights from other terminals, once they enter the arrivals hall, they need to follow the signs. Like if they're flying from Terminal 1 or Terminal 3, they need to go up to the area where they checked in for their outbound to Orlando, and then they need to go straight up towards and then they need to go across the Sculling Walkway, pass through the Radisson Blue, through the station, and then follow the signs to Terminals 1 and 3. So that's all the process, and once again guys, Joe's Bus Trampoline Lift Adventures here. We hope you had a great time on this flight from Orlando International Airport, and shout out to my following subscribers, Joe Mercedes, Jake, and also One Mad Donkey. I hope that you enjoyed my videos whilst I've been out in Orlando. And also shout out to Bus Enthusiast 2023, and even Blue Light Fazbear as well. So very warm welcome back to Manchester Airport. The weather in Manchester, even though it is dull cold, but obviously still a bit bright, but it's not. But it will soon be winter time when we get in a few months' time. So here we are, warm welcome to Manchester. Plane there, queuing up for the runway. Now EasyJet used to fly from Terminal 3 in Manchester, but now they fly from Terminal 1. And obviously I've had fond memories of Terminal 1 when I used to fly with Thomas Cook to Orlando, when I used to fly into Sanford. Thomas Cook did move to MCO up until 2019, from when Thomas Cook then came to an end. Just arriving back at Manchester, so we left the lovely Orlando behind, and I have to say it's been a great time on this flight all the way from Orlando, and I'm hoping to get back on these planes again for another trip over to Orlando, because Orlando is one of my favourite places of all time. Anyway, just passing along. So you can see a bit of construction work going on, part of the airfield development, because they're doing the airfield as well as the Terminal 2. I'm just waiting for the just passing now. Just passing now as a 787 Dreamliner called just about to shoot day out there. I thought that was a Virgin aircraft. to Orlando, so that one's starting to take the holidaymakers over to Orlando. Seems like the Avery, because obviously since the Avery 50's on the Orlando bound flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, almost there. There's the outbound Orlando flight from Virgin just on the right hand side. Singapore aircraft's just taxiing out now. Be past us in a few minutes, and then we'll get you underway on stand. Thank you.
So there's the outbound Orlando. That's the one going to Orlando now. Safely move up to the terminal. That. There's a Singapore plane. That's going on to Singapore. There's the Emirates gate. Lufthansa in the new Lufthansa livery. Shamrock is just about to depart over to Orlando. So there's Shamrock over there, there's Shamrock. Manchester Airport. So now we've got to see what gate number will be on. Terminal 1. Now Terminal 1 is set to close next year, but it will be mothballed. So we're going to miss Terminal 1. reunited with TUI, because obviously TUI don't go into MCO, they go into Melbourne, and that's gate 32 PSC. I had a lot of memories of that part of the airport back to the day when I used to fly with Thomas Cook, Travel City in Air Atlanta.
For arrival. Thanks very much for looking after us all. Ladies and gentlemen, just coming on stand now, can we ask please you remain seated a moment longer until the seatbelt sign is switched off. Thank you.
So we are arriving at gate 203. Oh, so I'll just pop this on my lap. Yep, we're on gate 203 now, so here we are. Welcome to Manchester. Next to a Cafe Pacific. Airbus A350. Anyway, nothing, just got a few stuff. So anyway, we're at gate 204. Okay, we have just now landed back into Manchester Airport. Terminal 2. So now we're going to go to the customs hall. Up there's departures. So we're in the old wing. So I'm quickly going to get a quick picture of the plane we just came in on. Okay, now we're going to get on to the travel Oops. Dreamliner. So we're going distance to immigration within 400 miles. 205. Yeah, you go, and of course you go to the loo. There's a Dreamliner. This is the old wing. So we've got to go to 360 miles to get to passport control. Obviously this is 206 was where we came last time when we flew into Manchester. Well, when we flew to Manchester back in 20... look, there's a cafe line. Go to the next. So yeah, it's been a fantastic holiday. And here's the sign. Manchester Airport is changing. So now, Mantis. They've actually modernised the steps on this one. Because this used to be the area where we all knew too well. Obviously it is a bit drab in this part, but it's going to look good. But shout out once again to Nairi, the flight service manager, who's working on the flight. Gosh, this walkway is so long. plenty of different choices of airlines from Manchester to Orlando. We've got Air Lingus as well. So, there we are. Welcome to Manchester. And we are just now approaching the border control. So what I'll do now, I'll just stop filming and I'll see you once we've gone through border control. Anyway, here we are, we've just gone through passport control and we're now heading down to the baggage reclaim hall to collect the luggage and then proceed through customs onto the arrivals hall. And wow, what a great flight it's been, the Virgin Atlantic. So we're just following the sign to the ground downstairs to arrivals and baggage reclaim. So there are lifts for those people who need them. Obviously we've got to take the escalator down. Anyway, here we are going down to baggage reclaim. Otis escalator. Wow, there's a Jet2 holiday sign. So this is the luggage reclaim hall where we'll collect our baggage. And I have to say this is very nice and bright compared to the old one that used to be here. And there's the old one just behind the hoardings. That's now been put up. Now we're going to collect our luggage now. Luggage reclaim 7. Anyway, just gone through arrivals and customs and we're now back here at Manchester Airport and we are just now waiting to collect the vehicle and then I will see you once we're in the car leaving the airport terminal. And wow, what a fantastic time it's been over in Florida. So here we are now at back at Manchester Airport, just getting keys sorted and then we'll be off home straight away. Well, back to Joe's Bus Train Plane Limited Ventures HQ. Okay then, we are just now, we're just now in the meet and greet area, collected our car, so let's head back to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures HQ. And yes, it's been a fantastic time over in Florida. So we're just now reversing out of the parking structure, well, car park now. And the baggage reclaim hall looks a lot brighter and modern compared to the eastern half, which is now being redeveloped. So that is very good. And finally, I'm gonna have a great shout out to lovely Nairi, who was our flight service manager, also on the outbound back in 2018, if you remembered, when we were flying on the 747. So shout out to all the cabin crew who've looked after me throughout the evening flight last night from Orlando. So we're now exiting the terminal, so we're going to come off the airport grounds and head back to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures HQ. And here we go, leaving. This is the place, so we're on the eastern part. This is the T2, this is also the T2 East multi-storey car park. If you remembered, when we last did a few holidays here in Florida, holidays over in Florida, we used this car park. And obviously when we did the twilight check-in 2 weeks ago, we used T2 West. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we might have that car park once again, because that was very good. But obviously things can alter near the time. There's Optare Versa, first Optare that I've seen in like 2 weeks. So anyway, here we are exiting the grounds. So I've got the high-vis workers So obviously, as you know, T2's been redeveloped as part of the transformation program. By the time we come here next, it will be fully completed. There's the reception where you get your keys from. And wow, what a brilliant time. Thank you to everyone who's been watching these exciting videos. So what we'll do, we'll film part of the M56 just until we get off, and then I'll get back to you once we're halfway on the M6. So we've got to exit for the M56. There's a ADL Enviro 200 MMC. There's the T2 West multi-storey car park where we were last time when we came to Florida. Well, when we were here, not last time when we came to Florida. I mean when we were coming to. When we were checking in this time around. So the new security hall with the latest technology is due to open in 2025 next year. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the fully completed terminal here at Manchester. And so anyway, Chester, Warrington, M56. So anyway, there's Air France. There's Air France over there. Getting ready for a flight to go over to Charles de Gaulle, Paris. Jet 2 flight over there. 737. Obviously, all the Jet 2 flights which currently operate out of Terminal 1 will join the rest of the Jet 2 flights here in Terminal 2. Because obviously Terminal 1 is going to be closing, and all the flights that operate in and out of Terminal 1 will move over to Terminal 2. So I'm assuming that Emirates will make their return to Terminal 2. Air France and KLM have already made their return. Lufthansa will soon be making their return. So it was brilliant, lovely experience on the flight all the way from Orlando. And we had a bit of turbulence, but obviously the seatbelt signs did not. We weren't disturbed by any other cabin crew, which was a bonus, a Bertie bonus. So M56, M6, M60 and M62. Now we were here 2 weeks ago when we were dropping off the cases, but now I'm going home. Well, back to Joe's Plus Train Plane Lift Adventures HQ. So we're going back to the HQ, Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures, JBLTA, and we will be back here again, no doubt at all. We're going to be back here even when we come for like a city break in Manchester. Like obviously I'm a massive fanatic of Manchester Airport, so definitely going to be coming here to see how the transformation program has progressed since we've last been here, because I always do a lot of transformation program updates.
Where are we going?
So we got to go right now to go towards the M56. So yes, there's the airport over there, the flagship hotel, the Radisson Blu, Skylink walkway now enclosed. Obviously we won't see like an open air bit until next time when we go to Orlando. So I'm gonna just film. So here we are back in the UK. Obviously the weather isn't that bad, it's just a little bit chilly. Obviously got my tracksuit top on. Now, obviously it was very cold on the flight, more like when I first rode Banger Bus's YJ10 LZX back in 2019. Oh, that was hilarious, that was. Anyway, here we go. We're on the M56, heading towards where we need to get off, and then we'll have a break, and then I'll see you when we're on the M6. So here are the important signs: Chester, Warrington, Birmingham, M6, and Liverpool. We flew over Liverpool as we were coming into Manchester, and we saw the lovely Albert Dock where this morning was filmed. So transmitted from. So the other line is for Manchester, Stockport, Sheffield, Leeds, Bolton as well, Bolton. But we're heading for Chester, Warrington, Birmingham, Preston and Liverpool. So here we go. Now finally come off the airport site. But when we visit here again, even when it's just a regular visit to Manchester Airport, we'll come in by the train, because we've not done the train since 2019, because obviously over the last few years has been challenging due to obvious reasons. And obviously also with the trains going on strike time to time, but obviously I've not heard any rail strikes for ages now. So hopefully we'll get back on the train to the airport on TransPennine and Northern Rail. So anyway, here comes the exit for the Runway Visitor Park. We will be coming to the Runway Park, no doubt at all, again, probably in the summer of next year. And yes, it's been a fabulous time over in Orlando. So what I'll do now, I'll finish here and I'll see you once we're on the M6. Anyway, here we are. We're just now back at Joe's Bus Train Plan Lift Adventures HQ, and thank you very much for watching these amazing Florida holiday videos. It's been a pleasure, and we will do it again, of course, and I'll be looking forward to be going back into that departure lounge at Manchester to start the holiday once again. So thank you very much to the viewers, and also to everyone who's been watching my videos. So shout out once again to One Mad Donkey, Black Country Traveller, Bus Enthusiast 2023 and more. And we will keep up with the channel.